knowing he was going to call a shove, hoping to win a coin flip and extend his chip lead.
Marco Neumann's girlfriend Arga hoping to see an ace or a king on the flop. McPhee says keep it low. Alternatively, you could just put a set of sevens out there, and Arga knows that her boyfriend's tournament life is practically over. He needs runner to survive.
Runner straight draw still.
Runner to survive and get half the pot. Not a good spot to be in.
The hand's over. A full house for Kevin McPhee and a 7th place finish for Marco Neumann, winning himself 120,000 euros. And the respect of the final 6 at this final table. And Kevin McPhee continues to build that chip stack, and look at his aggression percentage. That's the percentage of his betting actions that are raising actions.
Hard for you to have an ace when I have 3 aces, right?
Tell him careful that he is running good. Marco Neumann knows that as he gets a consolatory kiss from his girlfriend. Blinds are up, 40 and 80,000. Vasek mucks the 9-3. Collar, ace-jack. And he folds it. The 6-handed table.
6-handed table, at 2 off the button. Ace-jack is certainly an opening hand. He is the lone amateur at the final table. He might be a little nervous.
Instead, Inazan can open the action with ace-9 in the small blind. Just going to call, and Kevin McPhee elects to see a free flop.
Ace-9 usually a raising hand from the small blind. Perhaps Inazan does not want to waste any of his newfound chips.
Well, he hits top pair, the flush draw for Kevin McPhee, and second pair.
Big flop for both players. Top pair, top kicker versus second pair and a flush draw.
McPhee's statistical favorite with the flush draw and 2 live cards.
10 of spades on the turn. Mark check.
Check.
And check.
McPhee playing this hand uncharacteristically slowly.
River card.
And he gets there on the river.
Mark check.
Be pretty tough to put him on a flush. You might be able to put him on some sort of weird straight.
Well, still and also.
And a good laydown from Inazan.
Quick laydown.
Well, McPhee's been telling the rest of the table that he's running good, and I guess they're starting to believe him.
Welcome back to Berlin and the final table of the 10th leg of EPT Season 6. We're 2 down.
From Germany, Nico Behling.
Both Germans are out.
Marco Neumann.
6 remain.
So we know for sure the trophy won't be staying in Germany, but will it be staying in Europe? Right now, the American player, Kevin McPhee, has a huge chip lead over the rest of this table.
I know I stepped out on a limb with my pick of McPhee earlier. I'm pretty happy about it.
Yeah, way to go, Gavin, gambling by picking the chip leader to take down the tournament.
I gotta root for the Yank.
I've admired the way this guy's played. The Finnish player, Ilari Takokallio. And he has defeated Kevin McPhee once before in a side event at EPT London.
Raise to 190 for Ilari.
Can he get the better of him this time? In this hand, he's raised it up with King-9, but McPhee has ace-jack in the small blind. Just going to call.
We've seen him twice with ace-jack from the small blind. Both times he's flat called. Doesn't want to build a big pot out of position with ace-jack.
Getting called, take 9 pots. Club comes. 5 of clubs, 4 of diamonds, check of clubs.
It's top pair.
Yeah, this game's pretty easy when you flop top pair or better every hand.
And this is a case of knowing your opponent. He can check here, knowing that a huge percentage of the time, Takokallio is going to put chips in the pot.
Another one of those safe c-betting flops. Jack 5-4 with a flush draw. He's going to try to bet and win this pot right here. And obviously, McPhee's not giving up.
The continuation bet is 275,000. Is this where McPhee springs the trap? There's the check raise, 865 total.
Kevin re-raised, 865,000.
The great thing about the way Kevin plays, he could be making this check raise with 6-7, a flush draw, 2 9s, all kinds of hands that don't necessarily have to be top pair.
Hillary took one stab at it, decides to give it up. He's running out of space to stack all those chips.
He's going to need a bigger section of the table.
Jack King. Haven't seen that much today. Nathwani's going to raise with it. Starts the hand with 1.8 million in chips. And his opening raise is to 170,000.
170,000.
Up close view of the ace-5.
Wow, is there any hand that does look good in close-up?
Call. More than call. 170.
Surprised to see just a call from Vasek with the 2 8s. Nathwani's chip stack isn't very big. Could put quite a lot of pressure on him.
What comes? 6 of spades. Check
Yeah, because now what do you do with 8s, right?
2 players.
And now Nathwani, he's certainly going to bet this flop. He's taken over the lead. Could have avoided seeing a flop in the first place.
He does know that Vasek's a pretty tight player, and he might be concerned that Vasek could have flopped an ace. And he asks the question by betting 200,000. And Vasek's answer is, I don't have an ace, I fold the hand, Nathwani will win the pot. So after Vasek started this final table with about 3.5 million in chips, and he managed to get that stack up to just shy of 4 million, but has now dropped back down to roughly where he started.
He picked up aces and won a decent-sized pot. Lost a couple since then. Looks like he's just about treading water.
He's third off the bottom of the leaderboard, and what's the strategy here? Do you try and move up the money ladder?
Well, you've got one giant stack, a couple of sort of middling stacks, and 3 guys around 30 to 40 big blinds. The payout structure, such as it is, the jumps aren't very big until you get to second place. So there's not a whole lot of merit to just jumping up the pay structure as it goes. Should be trying to play for first place in this tournament.
Play for the win. Well, we have our 2 short stacks here, and Collar is going to raise from the small blind. Nathwani doesn't really have much of a hand.
It hasn't stopped him from putting in chips before.
On this occasion, he will let his big blind go. And the Swiss go wild again.
Well, you know, he did just win a giant pot.
Marcel Koller looking to become the first Swiss player to win a European Poker Tour title here in Berlin.
Long way to go to catch up to the Americans and the Brits.
He's picked up ace-queen here.
I'll raise.
Marcel is going to raise.
He seems to make all his declarations to the tournament director. He looks at the tournament director, says, I raise, and then makes his action.
85,000. Okay, full pot.
Uh-oh. Bad spot for Collar. If Tococalio re-raises, can Collar get away from the hand? That's the question.
Would be tough with only around 30 big blinds in his stack. Ace-queen's such a good hand at a short-handed table.
Hillary makes the re-raise. It's a total of 430,000. And assuming the action is folded back to Collar, we could see an all-in here. He makes the move. A very quick call from Tococalio, and Collar will see he's just got one live card, one overcard to Tococalio's queens.
Tough spot for Collar. It's such a good hand. To run into queens and be in such bad shape is very disappointing.
Swiss fans calling for the ace on the flop.
So Marcel is the only player
Holland
with ace
needs
of
some
clubs,
serious help,
queen of spades,
or we will be down to 5 players.
Let's see the flop. Flop comes, jack of hearts, 9 of diamonds, 6 of diamonds.
Not much help.
They have queens in the lead.
No immediate help for caller.
Find the ace to survive.
Picked up a backdoor straight draw. Again, I'm looking for the positives, trying to be an optimist.
Current got 7 of diamonds.
Well, this is a horrible spot now because Paco Pallier has the diamond draw. He needs an ace on the river that is not the ace of diamonds.
Covers the flush with the queen of
2 outs in the deck to save Marcel Koller.
This would be the ace of diamonds. Let's see the river card. It's a deuce of
He
spades.
doesn't hit, and he is gone. We lose the only non-poker professional from the final table.
He does take home 165,000 euros. A good payday for a non-pro.
So Marcel Koller exits in 6th position and leaves just 5 players in contention for the €1 million first prize. American Kevin McPhee tops the chip count, but Finland's Ilari Tekakallio is hot on his heels. Can any of the other 3 mount a challenge? Next time on the EPT, as night falls in Berlin, the 5 remaining players need to keep their nerve and their eyes on the prize as we play down to a champion on the PokerStars.com European Poker Tour.
Stop showing up to all the tournaments on that. You don't want to let me go?
It's the trophy they'll do anything to get their hands on.